Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
I'm not going to get into specifics, but I think where they were and how they were seems to support the position they were hiding, and they weren't looking for surrendering at that point.
The manhunt is over. The parents of the suspected Oxford High School shooter have been formally charged. Police took Jennifer and James Crumbley into custody in the early morning hours after a long manhunt that ended in Detroit.
Yesterday, they were charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Priya Man reports the couple appeared in court for their arraignment today.
James and Jennifer Crumbley have been behind bars here at the Oakland County Jail since early Saturday. They were supposed to be arraigned on Friday, and when they didn't show up, it sparked a massive manhunt. They faced a judge today.
How are you pleading count 1?
Not guilty.
Both James and Jennifer Crumbley pled not guilty to 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 1 charge for each child gunned down at Oxford High School.
Do you understand you are charged in count 2 for the death of Tate Meyer?
I understand.
The judge read each victim's name: Madison Baldwin, Tate Meir, Hannah St. Juliana, and Justin Schilling.
Your Honor, this is a very serious, horrible, terrible murder and shooting, and it has affected the entire community. And these 2 individuals could have stopped it.
Oakland County Prosecutor Karen McDonald says Ethan Crumbley's parents did not tell anyone their son had a gun, even though there were concerns about his behavior.
It does sound like an absolutely egregious wrongdoing on the part of Mr. and Mrs. Crumbley that they gave their child a gun and encouraged him to do this. That's just not the case.
The pair were supposed to be arraigned on Friday, but did not show up for their hearing.
They knew that we were planning to bring Mr. and Mrs. Crumbley in. They knew that we were in communication with them.
We called the prosecutor's office throughout the day and never got a call back. The prosecutor's office, instead of getting back to us in any way, decided to have a press conference.
These defendants did not need my permission, and they didn't need law enforcement permission to go to the court and turn themselves in.
Prosecutors say the pair withdrew $4,000 in Rochester Hills, and when they couldn't be found, a massive manhunt ensued. The pair were ultimately arrested on Detroit's east side.
Agencies went into a vacant building and searched it from top to bottom, and these 2 individuals were found locked somewhere in a room, hiding. These are not people that we can be assured will return to court.
Judge Nicholson set their bond at $500,000 each, no 10%.
Obviously, these charges are very, very serious. There's no question about that. The court does have some concern about the flight risk along with the public safety, given the circumstances that occurred yesterday.
With the twists and turns of the case making national headlines, McDonald bristled at the notion the attention was orchestrated.
To suggest that anyone is somehow using this incident to create press, there's a lot of attention here because 4 children were murdered and 7 others were injured.
The Crumbleys will be back in court in person in 10 days. Their preliminary exam is scheduled for just before Christmas. In Pontiac, I'm Priya Man, Local 4.
Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard held a news conference late this afternoon to break down what happened in Detroit during the arrest of the Crumbleys in the early morning.
Megan Woods was there. And Megan, what did he have to say about how the arrest and how everything came together?
Amazing. Phenomenal. Those are the words that the sheriff and U.S. Marshals used to describe Detroit PD's police work when it comes to getting James and Jennifer Crumbley into custody. And now all that's left to figure out is if the prosecutors will add charges in connection to the search for this couple, and if the person who allegedly led them into this warehouse will also be facing charges.
This has moved forward at lightning speed on lots of levels.
Sheriff Bouchard said they first got word about that tip in Detroit at 11:05. Detroit police secured this scene at a warehouse on Bellevue. Within 20 minutes, the fugitive team joined them. The sheriff says the couple was in an art studio, and it wasn't until 1:30 in the morning they were taken into custody.
We believe they were assisted in that location to get there, to get in, and we're gathering that information. And we're going to have the totality of that done fairly soon and present that to our prosecutor for potential charges for either aiding and abetting or obstruction of justice.
James, Jennifer, and Ethan Crumbley are all under the same roof again, but now at the Oakland County Jail.
The son and both parents, they are segregated, each individually in isolation. We have advanced watch on them.
While the Crumbleys' attorneys argue the couple plan to turn themselves in, the sheriff says,
we were out actively looking for them, working with our partners, and they were taken into custody before that question was asked or answered. Were they actually going to do it? I don't know. But given that they were hiding in a warehouse in Detroit, it certainly raises my eyebrows.
And now that all three are at the Oakland County Jail, the sheriff wants to reassure the community that him and the prosecutor are working glove in hand, is what he said, to hold this family accountable. And if you have any information about the shooting or this couple, they're asking you to give the sheriff's office a call. Live in Pontiac, I'm Megan Woods, Local 4.
All right. Thank you, Megan.
Vigils for the Oxford High School shooting victims continue to happen across Metro Detroit. Let's take a look at some live pictures. These are photos from a vigil happening right now at Royal Oak Middle School. This vigil organized by alumni in support of Buck and Sherry Meir, who lost their son Tate in that shooting.
And a visitation was held today for 17-year-old Madison Baldwin. She was one of the 4 victims killed during the shooting on Tuesday. Baldwin was supposed to graduate this year and, in fact, was already accepted to several colleges. She was the oldest of 3 and was an artist who loved to draw, read, and write.
We are following some breaking news just into our newsroom, and that is CNN has fired Chris Cuomo. The network put Cuomo on indefinite suspension earlier this week. The New York State Attorney General released documents showing that the TV news host had a much larger role advising his brother Andrew Cuomo how to respond to sexual harassment allegations. CNN says new information found during the review led to Cuomo's firing. He had been with CNN since 2013.
All right, nice to see the sunshine out there today on a Saturday. Hopefully you had a chance to get out there a little bit.
Yeah, we need a little good news this week. I guess that was it, Andrew.
Mother Nature certainly is helping with today with all the sunshine that we saw, temperatures that were close to average. In fact, we're still around 40 degrees, but it has gotten chillier since the sun has gone down nearly an hour ago. We've got 36 chillier degrees for our friends over in Pontiac, same thing in Howell, while it's 35 in Ann Arbor, still holding on to 41 degrees over at City Airport on the east side of Motown. We're looking at 39 right now over at Metro Airport. Feels like it's around freezing. So for any evening shoppers, anyone still going out, maybe doing a little last minute decorating before it gets even darker, we're looking at chill conditions. Make sure you bundle up. But it continues to be dry. With increasing clouds, we go from partly cloudy to mostly cloudy overnight, and temperatures up until midnight, mostly in the middle and then low 30s when you join us tonight at 11 o'clock. But look at what happens to temperatures tomorrow. We start off around 30 or around freezing, but temperatures rise into the middle and upper 30s in the afternoon, and they're not done going up. We have a warm front on the way. We'll see high temperatures in the 40s to near 50 degrees, but not until the sun goes down tomorrow. Now, along with that comes some rain. We'll talk more about that possibility and your 7-day forecast in minutes.
Oh, tonight is the night for the Michigan Wolverines. If they beat Iowa, they win the Big Ten championship and earn a spot in the Final Four for the national championship.
And that championship game is in Indianapolis. Jamie Edmonds is there live for us tonight. And Jamie, how's the atmosphere?
Sandra, Steve, can you hear me? Because it's very loud in here. They just opened the gates, so fans are streaming in. Earlier today in Indianapolis, it was a sea of maize and blue and black and gold. And from what I could tell, they were coexisting quite nicely in the tailgating area.
It was a beautiful day to place some bags, have some beers, and get ready for the Big Ten championship game. Just steps from Lucas Oil Stadium, a tailgating mecca.
We're here to represent the maize and blue. It's going to be an easy 3 today, we think. So we're kind of curious why Iowa even showed up.
Let's go Hawks! Let's go Hawks!
Oh, the Hawkeyes showed up in a big way. They know the Wolverines are favored, but...
Oh, I think Hawks by a million. I was going to blow them out of the water. Let's go.
Michigan fans don't buy that, not one bit. On the cusp of the first Big Ten title in 17 years, they believe the Wolverines will use that big offensive line and run the ball.
Hassan Haskins, right there, running back, all day long. My son and his girlfriend are from Iowa, rooting for Michigan. There's the Iowa plate to prove it.
But you're not.
I am not.
Where are you from?
South Lyon.
Okay.
Yep.
Go to Michigan.
My wife did. That's where I met her. I went to Eastern.
What do you think is going to happen today?
27-13 Michigan.
A big win today, and you know what that means.
We want to prove ourselves today and look forward to moving on to the BCS.
All right, that's the goal, of course, the college football playoff, but the Wolverines cannot overlook the Iowa Hawkeyes. Coming up in sports, we'll talk about keys to victory. Just beyond the camera are all the banners of all the teams that have won the Big Ten championship. In this game, Michigan's not on there, and they want to make that change tonight. Here are the towels for the fans, guys. We'll see you coming up in sports.
All right, thank you, Jamie. Yeah, you don't want to look past anybody. There's already one upset today.
No, you don't. All right.
Focus, boys.
We'll see Jamie in a little bit.
Still ahead, we have a Help Me Hank alert from Honda.
Find out why the automaker is now recalling thousands of its SUVs.
But first, we're following the latest with the coronavirus as the Omicron variant continues to spread across the U.S.
DTE Energy customers can